I don't care that much. I find the percentages to be less precise in my opinion. But it's easier to track on apps. Like it's easier to visually see if it was like 50, 25, 25 and you're matching. I don't care that much. In my opinion, macros are important, but they're not as important as total calories. Calories in, calories out. So Bros and Bloke says, for a client wanting to lose weight, how much protein in grams should they be consuming per day? How does this affect their macros? So it's a female client who is 5'7", 240 pounds, and he was thinking about 0.6 grams per pound of body weight per day. So 144 grams, but that seemed kind of high to him. So to some degree, yeah, I agree that's a little bit high, but the specific math, like if you look at the studies, when you hear that number that people often say of 1 gram of protein per pound body weight, bro, 1 gram, you're not doing 1 gram? Don't you know? Don't you know that it's supposed to be a 1 gram or more, bro? You're doing less than that? How could you? So we've heard that number thrown out a lot, and because it's a very easy number to remember, it's a good high number to aim for most of us. But the actual math and the studies focus on lean body mass, which is LBM. That's one way to think of it. LBM, they look at what's their body fat percentage, take that out, and then you're left with lean body mass. So for example, for me, I'm like perhaps 15% body fat. So let's just round to 15%. And I weigh 185. So we do the math really quick. If I am 185, 50% body fat, that means 85% of my mass is, hold on. Wrong button. 185, 80, that means 85% of my mass is lean body mass. So that means my non-fat mass, my lean body mass is 157 pounds-ish, right? These are all estimations. So that basically means my muscle, my water weight, my organs, my tissue, my skeleton, all of that stuff is my lean body mass. So the lean body mass. So from that number, then they have determined that the optimal protein intake would be something like 1.2 grams per pound lean body mass, or 1.6 grams times or 1.6 grams per pound lean body mass, and so forth. So that's how they kind of derive these numbers. It's just for the purposes of educating the general person, telling them to like calculate their body fat percentage and then reverse calculate lean body mass and then, you know, do the numbers from there is kind of unnecessarily complicated for the beginner. So what I usually do is I say the range being 0.6 grams to 1 gram of protein per pound body weight as a decent rule of thumb, to where 0.6 grams of protein per pound body weight applies to people who are beginners, you are more obese, and you're not particularly strong. So in those cases, those people should probably be aiming for the lower end. For example, a 300 pound person really doesn't need 1 gram. A 300 pound beginner who has never lifted weights does not need 300 grams of protein. That's just absurdly high. They can if they want. Nothing wrong with that, as long as they can afford it and they feel okay off of it. I mean, protein is 300 grams of protein. That's a lot of fucking protein. So, so the beginner doesn't need as much because also their fat mass is going to be quite high. So you got to factor that in too. So 0.6 or maybe even less depending on where they're at, and also just talk to them. Do they enjoy high protein? You'd be surprised by how difficult it is for some people, such as female clients, trying to get in the high amounts of protein that some trainers just give them without asking them for feedback. So, and then on the opposite end, if you are more advanced, if you're leaner, if you are stronger, then you probably want 1 gram of protein per pound body weight or even more. If you can afford it and you're comfortable with it. So you're asking like, what would I choose for this person? I would choose 0.6 grams and then go from there. And if they don't enjoy 0.6 grams per pound body weight, because you said she was 240, right? Let me scroll back up. Yeah, 240. So 240 times 0.6, which is 144. Like he said, still a bit high. It can be. So I would start them off there and then see how they feel with that, and just ask them like, how do you feel? Do you enjoy that? Because if they were eating, for example, like 60 grams of protein per pound, 60 grams of protein per day, that's not much. And then to suddenly more than double that, that's going to be a huge jump for them. They might be feeling gross, and that's going to affect sustainability and adherence, because that matters more than what's the most optimal, right? Now, how would that impact our macros? The way I calculate macros is start with your minimum protein and then start with your minimum fat and then backwards calculate how many calories you have left to calculate the carbs. So I've gone over it in a different, I've gone over it plenty of times. So I'll give a quick overview for that. You first determine how many calories can this person, or what's the calorie goal for this person to basically lose weight. And then based on body weight, minimum amounts of protein. So let's just show this on screen really quick. So I don't know what the calories are. Let's just say her calorie goal is 2,000 calories. So this you have to just assess, figure out how low can I go. So calorie goal is 2,000 calories, and then protein, min protein would be, in this case, 0.6 grams times the body weight, 240 pounds equals 144 grams protein. And then, let me fix the typo. And then min fat, about 0.3 grams, 0.2 to 0.3 grams of fat per pound body weight is a good place to go. People who are more obese, again, same thing. I would choose the lower end of that scale. So 0.2 times 240 equals, let's do the math really quick. Wait, no, let me make sure I get it right. 48 grams fat, and then from there fill in the rest of the calories with whatever macros you want. So you could just take in whatever calories you have left, right? So let's do the math of the calories left over. So 2,000 calories minus how many calories from the protein is 4 grams, or 4 calories per gram. So 4 times 144 minus how much energy, how many calories per gram of fat. So 9 times 48 equals whatever's left over is what you get to eat, or whatever it's what you get to. That's your remaining calories you can put into carbs, protein, fat, whatever you feel like doing. So 2,000. So 4 times, do the math really quick. 4 times 144 is 576, and then the fat 9 times 48, 432. So subtract that all together. 2,000 minus 576 minus 432 equals 9,992 calories remaining for whatever. So if the person wants to go keto, they can go keto if they want and put the rest of these calories towards fat and some protein. Or if they want to just put this all towards carbs, they can put it all towards carbs. It comes down to a question of what's going to be most satiating, what are they going to enjoy, what will help them stick to everything, and all that stuff. So that's how I would balance all of this. My preference is to go towards carbs. Protein is great and all, but sometimes carbs makes you feel better, especially for performance if you're working out in the gym. So that's kind of how I would balance things. So bros and blokes, you backwards calculate through 25% of the calories set for the fat, then divide by 9 for grams. That's fine too. Sometimes people divide up their macros by percentages, but like you might have heard like 40, 40, 20, 40% carbs, 40% protein, 20% fat, or like 50, 25, 25, or whatever macros they do. I don't care that much. I find the percentages to be less precise in my opinion, but it's easier to track on apps. Like it's easier to visually see if it was like 50, 25, 25 and you're matching. I don't care that much. In my opinion, macros are important, but they're not as important as total calories. Calories in, calories out. So that's basically how I would kind of layer things. Start with calories, figure out your minimum protein and fat, and then work backwards to figure out what else you want to do. So Sugar Fitness says, do you think it's more appropriate to point someone at grams of protein per pound per body weight targeted their goal body weight then? I don't think the difference is going to be that huge, because the assumption, Sugar Fitness, is so you're basically asking, you have a 240 pound woman, and let's say she wants to get to 140 pounds. So a 100 pound drop. She wants to drop 100 pounds, and we're calculating protein based off of her current weight instead of her goal weight. Why not do her goal weight? That's what you're asking, right? So in my opinion, the amount of protein she's taking in each day would be almost the same. Why? Because the actual math depends on their lean body mass. Now, so again, I start with that scale, 0.6 grams of protein per pound body weight to for the obese beginner, to 1 gram of protein per pound body weight for the more advanced leaner person who's been dieting down longer. So in this case, it comes out to almost the same in that if you start at 240 pounds, we're aiming for 0.6 grams, right? So that's 144 grams of protein per pound body weight. I'm sorry, let me back up. 144 grams of protein per day. And then as she diets down, the assumption is she's going to be lifting weights, because if I'm working with her, or Bros and Blokes is working with her, then they're going to be weightlifting. They're probably going to be gaining strength, and they're going to be losing weight and getting leaner. All of that combined means that as she goes down 100 pounds, she should be increasing her protein on that scale from 0.6 to 1 gram of protein per pound body weight. She should be sliding that up, because she's starting to qualify for the 1 gram of protein per pound body weight, which is she is getting leaner. She's been dieting down for a while. She is lifting weights, getting stronger. She's becoming more advanced. So for all of those reasons, it should be going towards 1 gram of protein per pound body weight, which is if she hits her goal weight of 140 pounds, then she would still be consuming about the same amount of protein. Does that make sense, Praise Jesus? At the end of the day, it's going to end up being almost the same, because of we're calculating based off of lean body mass. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I was doing a lot of like talking instead of typing it out, because I know it's easier to visually see it. Anyway, Praise Jesus says, don't know if you've seen this article. Yep, I've seen that article. It's a great one. Physiconomics fat loss. It's in the Discord, ! Discord. Go to the resources channel, and I list all my favorite resources for stuff like fat loss, building muscle, all that stuff. Physiconomics is one of them. It's a great, he's got a funny style of writing. If you like the content, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Also, follow us on Twitch and leave the notifications on. Feed your brain, feed your body, and see you next time.